And this next question comes in from Ciro Mora about the big to-do over the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act and YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel, even a tiny one, you are going to have to declare yourself about whether or not you are making content for kids. And you have the choice to say, hey, my entire channel is not steered at children under the age of 13, or you can do it on a video-by-video basis. And you have to do this to comply with YouTube's terms of service, essentially, even if you're outside the U.S. What happened here in the U.S. is that the Federal Trade Commission said to YouTube, hey, you're in violation of this act because you are collecting data on kids under the age of 13. My daughter, for example, was using the YouTube Kids app. She was subscribing to channels in that app, but she's only 6 years old. I was monitoring, so don't worry. And she can no longer do that. Kids cannot comment on these kid channels, and if you are a kid channel, they're going to remove commenting completely from it. And this is a big deal because if you are violating this act and not declaring your content properly, YouTube at the minimum will demonetize a video, but you also open yourself up to being fined directly by the Federal Trade Commission for violating the COPPa Act yourself. So what's happened here is YouTube's been able to settle this case and then put all the blame on creators versus themselves. And that is why the FTC voted 3-2 on party lines on this particular issue when it was before them. So this is what you'll see. Now, what I did for this channel and a few of my other ones was set it to no. But I have another channel that I've just been playing with over the years called Dad Pro Tips, where I get some toys in through the Amazon Vine program and do a little review with my daughter. Because my kid is in the video and because we're reviewing kid products, we have to say that these are kid-friendly videos, and therefore the monetization will be very different on those videos. Kids can't subscribe and they can't comment. But if we didn't do that, we could be facing some severe consequences for not disclosing that. So if you do a mixture of content, then you'll have to say you want to review this setting for every video, and then on a video-by-video basis, you'll have to make those declarations. And if you've got a lot of content, you have to go back through them all one by one to set this. So this is going to be some work for some folks that might have some kid content on their channel. I took a look at my own demographics here, and you can see that my 13 to 17-year-old market here is very, very small, and I would imagine that very few viewers are under the age of 13. But as usual, things are not very clear to us creators who don't make kid content, but might have something that could potentially attract a child visitor. TubeFilter tried to make some sense of this in an article that they posted this week. They listed out the 10 factors that the FTC is using to determine whether or not a video is kid-directed, but it is so broad, like the subject matter of the site or service, which I would interpret to be maybe the subject matter of the video that you're doing, the video's visual content. So if a toy appears in the video, is that enough? I don't know what weight they apply to these different factors in determining whether or not something is kid-directed. And I'm sure what's going to happen here is that there will be creators who say, no, my video about this toy wasn't directed at kids. YouTube might say, no, it is, because it's got a toy in it, and they might get demonetized in the process. So this will have an impact not only on the stuff that's directed to kids under 13, but also channels that might cover some of this stuff that could overlap with that age bracket, even if the intended audience is not a child. And again, we have no idea because YouTube hasn't really effectively communicated how we should be thinking about this stuff in those gray areas where our intent is not to focus on children, but children might see it anyhow. Who knows? And I guess we're all going to learn the hard way as this stuff develops. Just as an example, I went through my back catalog. The only thing that I have that might fall under this gray area is this video of the Anki Overdrive toy. This is kind of a slot car thing without the slots. And it's a cool thing that I was not intending to focus on children under the age of 13, but I think if a kid might be searching Google for some information about this product, they might find their way to this video. Am I supposed to declare this as a kid-friendly video? I don't know. And that's what really concerns me about this moving forward. So there's going to be some, I think, significant impacts in the short term as everyone tries to figure out how all of this works. I think there will be a lot of channels that get caught up in this that are not kid-focused, but the objects or imagery or the things that they're talking about in the video might lead YouTube to identify them as such, and that's going to have a material impact on what they do. at least in the short term. I think in the long term, though, what YouTube will likely do is switch from targeted advertising on those videos and go to contextual advertising, where the subject of the video will determine the type of ad that gets in front of the kid. The hard part for advertisers is that I don't believe YouTube can report the viewership of the ads or the ad duration that the child is watching from or for. So that might mean we only see unskippable videos perhaps, or ads on those videos. It might mean that there's some other metric that they have to try to figure out in order to be able to deliver the data to advertisers to make all of this stuff work for them. But at the end of the day, I think there will still be advertising on children's content. It'll be much like it is on television. If they know a certain percentage of this show or this video is being watched by boys because it's about a toy that boys typically play with, then you probably will see those ads kind of contextually targeting themselves at those videos, and the vice versa for girls. And the stuff in the middle might see a mixture of both. I remember growing up with my morning cartoons, I would see ads for stuff my sister might like and ads for stuff that I might like. And I think that's what we're going to see here in the end. So I'm not all that concerned in the long run, but I think in the short term, this is going to be very disruptive, and we'll have to see how it all develops. I know for my daughter, she's been frustrated that she can no longer subscribe to the channels that she likes because that's been taken away, and some of the targeting of videos to her based on things that she's watching now is also being impacted. So I'm really going to start digging through their kids app and see how they're going to direct videos now, given that they're not allowed to collect any data about what the kid is doing on the platform. So lots of disruption here, but that is what happens in the 21st century when you're running a media company. It's going to be a wild ride, and I would love to hear what you think down in the comment section below.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters, the 4 Guys with Quarters podcast, Chris Allegretta, Tom Albrecht, Brian Parker, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.